Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA podcast. I'm your host, Catherine Niker.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up?
This is episode 117, everyone.
Yes, welcome. We are the WNBA Pickup Podcast. Follow us on all of your favorite social medias at the Pickup WNBA Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky shortly, and YouTube. And of course, make sure to check out and fill out our survey with ACAST and for the Sonar Network. We really appreciate it. We've got a lot of good feedback so far. Keep that feedback coming. It's basically a bunch of questions about our pod and how to make it better and what you like about it, what you don't like about it. It's for us. It's for advertisers. It's for ACAST. It's great. Help us out. We love you.
Yes, and thank you to ACAST for supporting this podcast and supporting us. We feel supported.
We feel supported.
We feel loved.
We feel loved.
Freddie, it's March Madness time. Officially, we are here. We are here. Are you pumped? Are you excited?
I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Let's absolutely do this. This is going to be a really, really fun March Madness for a lot of reasons. And I think I'll speak for myself. I don't know how you feel, but, last year with Caitlin and Angel, right? I had these like major kind of like narratives heading into the tournament, which was helpful. But that made me, a Canadian, a Torontonian, a little bit more just knowledgeable about women's college basketball and specifically. And that I feel like is carried over this year. And although I will never, attest to being an expert, like I'm a WNBA person, it has primed me to kind of like be excited for the entire tournament and not necessarily just the collision of like Paige and Caitlin and Angel. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm really excited to see a lot of different players, see a lot of different styles and teams. Yeah, and kind of just see like how that carries into the W season, both in terms of like the draft and also just the overall momentum of women's basketball.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we're in the same boat here. Like, college basketball, both on the men's and women's side, has just been like a bit of a fleeting thing for us over the years. Also, too, like the not paying the players stuff, I've always been really against, and things like that. And we've just been paying attention to the professional leagues. But now that we've been covering women's basketball so much, like I'm so invested in women's college basketball, like way more than men's college basketball. Like I just feel like the the schools are invested in these players for longer typically. And even though like, like people move on, like, like Camila Cardoso, isn't there anymore. And like, Don Staley has to like reorganize their entire offense and things like that. But it's like, I don't know. It's just they're invested in people for longer. And you see them in like, you see these coaches come out and support their players once they become professionals or wherever they go in their careers. Like, it just feels like it's more substantial, more significant than on the men's side. Is that fair to say?
I think it's very fair to say, and it's a bigger part of I think men's basketball, we've talked about this before, but I think men's basketball used to be like this. I think like NCAA college men's used to have a bigger influence on the actual like NBA, and the WNBA being a younger league is still in that place where, yeah, it really matters that, Paige is with UConn and Taurasi won with UConn and
yeah, the UConn legacy is a big
like that stuff really, really matters. Whereas I think in the NBA, players sort of get to a certain place where you're kind of like, were they with Duke? I don't know. It doesn't matter. and a lot of superstars in the NBA are from like random schools or international. right? It's not, and it's not that that's
I think a few
untrue.
schools have a legacy, like, I think people might
For sure.
push back on that opinion, but as time goes on, it's like with Tarasi and Sue Bird, it's like you always know that they were UConn stars. Same with Breonna Stewart, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
or like Asia Wilson's got like a whole statue outside of her
For
school.
sure, for sure, and
Like
I guess
it's just
yeah.
yeah. But on the
I
men's side, well, maybe like Jordan has a statue, you know, but it's not like
yeah, the
Zion has a statue outside of Duke or something.
yeah, exactly, and, like, I think, like, Zion as
Maybe a
a
jersey retirement.
yeah, and Zion as, like, an NBA player, like, he's been an NBA player, like, longer than he's been an NCAA player, and I don't know that his fame, um, has gone down, like, as an NBA player, whereas I think that there's some when the college carries more weight than the professional league. I think some players are like legends in college and then they go to the professional league and they kind of like are not as big of legends. And again, yeah, there's exceptions to like every rule, but I think what this is bringing up for me is two major feelings I have with women's college, and as it pertains to the W is one, NIL has changed everything for the
Mhm,
better, right? I think that has just sort of changed the way people look at women's basketball and the both like team NILs, individual NILs, just
mhm.
the money coming in has kind of like it's just put it to a different stratosphere. And then also the talent pool, although it's always been there, there's more avenues to make money and to like have a career
Mhm.
before you get to the W that it's also yeah, I mean, like, it's all mutually beneficial, like, that's benefiting the W, and then at the same time, the league is, like, still carries major weight, like, I think the only thing that I could see changing that importance of the NCAA for women is more international, like, bigger waves of international women who have nothing to do
Playing
with
in the
college.
WNBA?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and being big names. Not that there isn't again, exceptions to that rule as well. Obviously, there's big international players in the W, and there has been, Lauren Jackson, like the Australian MVP, and stuff like that. But I think the more that happens, then that's when we'll see some sort of watering down of the importance of women's college basketball.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a very interesting observation. Also, talk about international players. Gabby Williams was the first that came to my mind, but,
Hmm.
currently. Anyway, I think, oh, I've lost my point. We just talked about me being close to being diagnosed as ADHD.
Yeah, you're almost there, buddy.
Oh
You're
my god.
women's college basketball.
Okay, the other thing I was gonna say is that the other thing that has changed with NIL, because we were going on a list of things that have changed with NIL, is not with the money comes the swagger. And I feel the swagger is at an all-time high. You know
All
what I
time
mean?
high.
Like, and rightfully so. Like these girls are really feeling themselves, right? They're coming in, they're coming in hot. And I feel like, we should talk about Paige obviously first.
Yes.
Because, do you think, and March Madness is called March Madness for a reason. Do you think she could bring UConn their first championship since Dewey? Do you think that's in
Uh
the cards for Paige?
I think it's very much in the cards. And I think, she probably is going to be a lot of people's favorite. UConn is so stacked, so egalitarian. You sent me this incredible article from the writers uh
See Sirat Sohi from The Ringer,
Sirat Sohi. And this is an incredible article, by the way. Like everyone, please
real
read
deep
this.
dive, very thorough.
Real deep dive, lots of video, lots of like it's a perfect article for people who love like technical basketball, but also kind of like the overarching big picture stuff. So she says a lot of really cool points about Paige in particular, and I think with UConn it's such an egalitarian thing, and Paige is kind of this perfect player in a sense where she has this ability she has the ability to do everything, right? She's like a menace on D. She's so efficient. She's a good shooter. She can, guard multiple positions. She can like play off the ball, on the ball. But also what comes with that and the system that she's in is she can also overly defer. So, in answer to your question, I think she can lead UConn to, a championship, but I think what Sirat is sort of saying, and I feel like it's really a poignant observation, is that there could also be a reality where UConn gets knocked out of the tournament and Paige is like not that big of an impact on the game, and it's just sort of like her momentum coming into the W is that she kind of just didn't take over the game when she needed to take over the game, which
Like
you could
deferring too much instead of having the ball in
that's
like
right.
in crucial moments. Yeah.
Like, yeah, she doesn't have that sort of like Sabrina Ionescu, Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson vibe where it's kind of like, I will I will be the one that misses the game winner.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm like, I don't care if I well, I mean, like, I care if I make it, but like I'm taking it, period.
Yeah.
Even if I'm double teamed, I'm
When
taking
you say I'm missing the game winner, it almost sounds like shade,
Yeah, well, that always makes me think
but
of
I don't
Kobe.
think you mean it that way.
Well, I mean it in like the sort of like the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality that lives on, right? Which is like I'm taking the shot.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I'm just like I'm that person. I have the most misses in NBA history. Like I'm taking the shot. And my aim is to hit the shot and I will hit a lot of big shots, but I also will miss more shots than
Kobe Bryant under his name, most misses in NBA
check it
history.
out. It's a stat. Most
My
misses
god.
ever, and I think like
Yeah, well,
but
Kobe was a bit extreme, like, in that, like, the joke was, like, a missed shot by Kobe was like a Kobe assist.
that's right.
Like, you had to get the offensive rebound on a missed Kobe shot to get your shot kinda thing, but, and I don't think, like, they're like that necessarily, but you just mean, like, they wanna take over, they wanna be, like, the person with the ball in their hands at the end of the game when it matters most.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're, questioning if Paige is going to be that person this year in this tournament because last year in the loss to Iowa, she didn't have the game winning shot. She was a facilitator, but also in that article, she says that she only had 17 shots that game.
Mhm.
So, but also too, like I think that is partly coaching as well, right? Like, it's part coaching, part Page, like, like, she's probably just doing the play that was drawn up, right? Like, I don't think that's, like, completely on her, and also too, like, everybody knows that like, everybody's got their eye on her, so it kinda makes sense to have another person on the team to be able to take those shots, but I do agree with the point that, like, she just needs to become, like, the one. At a certain point when a championship is on the line. So we'll see. Like that's a really interesting observation and we'll see if like the team chooses to make that kind of adjustment or not. And to what degree that makes a difference.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, there's just sort of like all like through all of this kind of like takeover talk to me is the larger, more important compliment, which is that there's players in basketball who just they don't strive to take the last shot. They strive to play perfect basketball. But that means there will be some scenarios where a player who is doesn't have their profile gets more shots, has higher scoring games, gets like that final shot because the player like a Page just prides themselves on making the right basketball play every single play. And I think if that's the type of like makeup you have as a player, that's incredible. And then yeah, but that's like I think it's an interesting kind of like leadership personality thing.
Right, right. We should talk a bit about Juju Watkins.
Yes.
I mean, she's having another incredible year. I feel like I hear so much about her. I hear less about the team. Not to say the team isn't good, it's just the spotlight on her is so big. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know if you have a gauge on like how well you think they're going to do or how far you think they're going to go. Like I feel like I don't really know where to put this team right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not. Well, I think you covered it well. They have, Kiki, Ir Iriafen, which I think I've got right. And I mean, our listeners, our commenters, you'll let me know. So do let me know.
Please.
But it's not like they're one of the big schools, right? They're good, but I do think that they're not quite that elite. They're not a favorite, and what I'm really excited for this tournament is I think that there's a chance that Juju does what sort of what Caitlyn did in a different way, which is takes over the basketball zeitgeist, and we start to have some conversation of, uh, is there a chance that we're watching the best female basketball player that ever lived? And as incredible and perfect as Paige is as a player, Juju gives off this kind of like this like a type of greatness where it just feels like it's must see TV, and it's this unstoppable force. And I think we will see a lot of this, like these games where it's like they would not have won without her. Like, it won't
Right.
be like, "Wow, what a great team victory." It will be like, "Oh my god, she had, like, a triple-double and it's like, just did everything." You know what I
She's
mean?
got more of that Mamba mentality thing, perhaps.
Yes, yeah, and also, uh, I don't wanna say, I was gonna say more flash, but Paige has a lot of kind of, like,
Paige
flash
is
as
a lot of
well.
flash. It's just
Yeah.
she just passes more.
Yeah, and Juju's 6'2", right? So there's that major kind of, like, imposing
How tall is
aspect of
how tall Paige is tall.
Paige is tall as well. I think she's 6 foot. I will double check this.
No, I'm googling it right now. Oh my
Good
god.
Lord, I think she's 6 foot, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
she's exactly 6 foot. You're right.
Yeah, and just play style as well. Juju plays like a 6'2" that like if you're a big, you can't back her down. Like,
Mm,
she plays with a type of strength that is like, yes, she's 6'2". Like Angel is 6'3", right? But Angel plays like a center. And Juju obviously is like just a full package, but she plays like no one, like you can't move her around.
mhm, mhm. A team I want to talk about that I'm going to have my eye on, and we mentioned them a couple weeks ago, is Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre
Uh,
Dame.
no- Notre Dame. I don't know why I say it like that. I don't think I'm going to be able to say it normally on this podcast in the context of this school, not in the context of what the church, the famous church.
Yeah, you're definitely talking about the famous church for anyone listening.
I bet an American tourist has gone to France and been like, "Oh, it's the Notre Dame church," and people were just lost, confused.
I can't refute that, and I'm not. But so I,
Listen, all
yeah.
right, I'm going sideways here. So, I N- Notre Dame, they're not exactly favored per se, but I feel that this is a team that can be a part of an upset. Because it's March Madness, things don't go as you think they will, right? Teams, there's always upsets, there's always a team that goes further than you expect. I think Notre Dame. I'm just saying it in both languages like our politicians do,
Gotcha.
here in Canada. Because, I talked about, some of their players that are gonna be, like, top picks this year in the WNBA draft: Olivia Miles, Sonia Citron, Maddie Westbeld, but they also have a player named, uh, Hannah Hidalgo,
Mhm.
who was an ACC Defensive Player of the Year. And, in
Speaking
this
of playing above her size, she's 5'6".
incredible, incredible. And, like, in this article, they talk about how, like, she's her own hype man and, like, the kinda energy that she brings to the court, and it's like, those things really matter. So if you've got like a couple stars on your team, plus a defensive player of the year, plus you've got swag, plus you've got somebody, hyping up your team, you've got good team vibes, you know, all of that stuff combined to me screams either champion or a deep run.
Mhm.
All like, you know what I mean? Like, those are all the things that are recipe for success. So, I'm, like, really looking at this team like, "Ooh, like, you're the team," for all the high profile schools, right? Like USC, South Carolina, UConn, all of this, LSU, blah, blah, blah. Like, Notre Dame could go really far. And I'd like to go so bold as to call it Notre Dame Final Four. I'm
Wow, I
not calling
love
the
that.
whole thing, I'm not putting a whole bracket out, but I feel really good about this team. And I could be wrong, I
Okay.
could fall flat on my face literally tomorrow, it's fine. It's March Madness.
It's March Madness, anything can happen. Have you
Anything
filled out
can
a
happen.
bracket?
I've not. I should.
Me and Catherine
Before it's too late, we should.
me and
And then
Catherine gonna
we could post it
That's
online.
right. We're filling out our brackets. Let us know who you think's gonna win, and, we majority of our listeners are Americans, so please school us, rip us on our brackets. Uh, we will
Yeah,
make
rip
them we
us,
will
tell
make
me I'm crazy, but, like, I really do feel good about this team, like, they have the recipe. They really do.
I'm going with Juju and UCLA.
Okay.
It's just
Wait,
just a just a
isn't
vibe.
Juju USC?
There you go. So, go ahead and rip me beginning now. I said UCLA. I messed
Well,
up.
the article that we're looking at and, like, the clips you're looking at is a game where she's facing UCLA.
Yep, still unforgivable mistake. She's a Trojan. My bad.
Um, okay, we got a couple other, W related things to talk about.
Yes.
Um, Unrivaled happened, it finished. Congratulations to the Roses. Congratulations to the MVP, Chelsea
And
Gray.
Chelsea Gray.
I had to wave my hands in the air several times for her name to appear in my mind.
Okay.
See, I do
Didn't
dedicated. That's crazy.
didn't
I
Nafisa
can't just be out here. No, she won MVP of the season.
of the season. Right,
Chelsea
right.
Gray won Finals
Got you,
MVP.
got you.
It was a great game. I really, really like Unrivaled. They have created what I would call a successful league, a successful quote unquote product. I hate using that term, but just they have. The one thing that I would like Unrivaled to do for next year is to have more of a crowd. Like, they don't really have a crowd. It's like the only people there in attendance seem like they are essentially staff of
Mhm.
the league, staff of other players, maybe a few media, a few PR, that sort of thing. And they've designed it that way deliberately, you can tell. But it's like, this is too good for it to not have the energy of an audience.
It does have wobble vibes.
Yeah. And I think like, I feel like, I like it makes sense that it takes place in one place. Ooh, accidentally shut off my ring light. It makes sense that it takes place in one area. right? Which I believe is Miami. Also, because it's the winter, so that's wonderful. I should
That's right.
try and cover Unrivaled next year just to not have another Canadian winter
Hey, everyone, please send us to our Unrivaled.
with my pup who doesn't like the snow. Go figure. She's Canadian, but she can't handle it.
Everyone, please. Yeah. Uh, if
I
you're
will do
listening,
my day job remotely and be at Unrivaled at night.
Engelbert, if you're listening, send us.
Mm.
Send us to.
And I
Send us.
need Unrivaled to be in a puppy friendly environment. I would like to bring her.
We also need people to help us out with our Indiana All Star road trip. Okay,
Oh my god, yes, we have Freddie, we have to do it.
it's got to happen,
Oh my god, and we need to inquire about it like now immediately.
folks. If you're listening, help
Oh
us
my
out.
god. You just gave me a headache.
Acast, come on now, help us out.
We have to actually do this though.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
gonna
still
happen.
down to do it?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna watch the Maya Moore doc on the road, and we're gonna try not to get in a car accident. It's really.
I just called you an asshole.
Did you? I didn't even hear it. Uh,
In my laugh I was like you're such an asshole. But
yeah, I
you're
do have
not
a
at
little
all.
bit.
I just say that like to my brother even.
I have a little bit of asshole shrimp energy, as some
No,
might
you
say.
don't.
As some people might say. Uh, for anyone
Okay,
who,
okay. Listen, we need to
uh,
go to Indiana for All Star. You're okay, Freddie. Like, we need to like get on this. We need to email people about credentials.
done.
Also,
Done.
you're going to Nashville soon, aren't you?
That's right. 2 weeks. And
In
I'm
two
sticking in
weeks.
Nashville until
Are you missing an episode of the pod?
I'm not. No,
Good,
no.
because it's
Although
a busy time.
I will be missing an episode of the pod in June because I'll be in, wait for it, Delaware. Give me some love, Delaware fans,
Why are you going to Delaware?
for a wedding. So, uh,
Who
yeah,
do you know is getting married in Delaware?
my American cousin, Rehoboth Beach. If you know it, I'm sure you'll love it. It's hype. Well, let's
All
go.
right. I
Yeah,
hope it is nice.
it actually is very nice.
All right. Well, we'll have to find a guest for that episode.
We will.
We gotta get on that. You're going to Nashville. Are you gonna go to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame?
It's in Knoxville.
Oh, that's in Knoxville. How
Yes,
far
which
is
I
that?
think it's like 2 hours from Nashville. So I
All right.
would like to go. I won't be going on this trip. My wife has went, and I do have Women's Basketball Hall of Fame merch, but no, I'm not going to be going.
Fair. All right. Those are travels. Those are loose travel
Travel
plans.
stuff. But wait, I wanted to say about Unrivaled.
Mm.
There's a couple of things that have kind of like come out of Unrivaled that are interesting concepts. There's a New York Times article, and it's it's 4 ways to improve, or four ways that Unrivaled may influence the WNBA.
Mm.
And it's cool. Yeah, it's a good way to think about it. It's like, the very, like, make sure you check it out. Here are 4 ways Unrivaled could change the WNBA, is the article. But the main headers are like upping off-season promotion, like bigger partnership opportunities, improved amenities, and added childcare. And then also, this is going to go into our next topic as well, I think, but raising salaries and providing more player equity, which I think is interesting because it's done everything that Stewie and Nafisa wanted. I think it's extended the spotlight on women's basketball. Even though we were just talking about the audience, you know, they gotta sort that out. They gotta sort some stuff out. That's fine.
No, you're absolutely right though. And I think both the TNT deal, right? Like the fact that they got a really solid broadcasting deal in addition to the Sephora sponsorship, I think were massive for Unrivaled to take off the way that it has.
Yes.
Like I mean not to say they don't have other sponsors or anything, but I think those two were really pivotal. Also really love the Sephora ref jerseys. Really nice. The Sephora referee jerseys, spot on. Well done.
Well
Well
done,
done.
Sephora. I'm proud of you, Sephora.
Even though I'm only wearing lip gloss right now. Well done.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't worn makeup since getting the puppy. Isn't that weird?
Your new mom.
New mom energy. Okay. What else do we have on our docket?
Well, we have yeah, the reason I was saying it, I feel like it goes into our next subject well is we have the beginnings, well not really beginnings, but we have some CBA news. Um which yeah, collective bargaining agreement. So this is going to be, I think it's important to talk about because I feel like this is going to be the a huge backdrop of this year for anyone following.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
It's going to
conversation
be
throughout the year.
This is like the new chartered flights, right? Like this is gonna be a thing that is just constantly talked
We're
about.
talking about the CBA agreement.
That's right. Yes.
Sorry, we kept going on about how much it's gonna be talked about. We didn't say what it
Yeah.
actually is.
See, this is why there's different types of ADHD. Yours is easier to work with, okay? Mine is absolutely chaotic and anyways, I'll see you in Nashville, listeners to the pod. It's gonna be great. Um But on Unapologetically Angel podcast, Angel Reese's podcast, her and Dejante Carrington,
Dejanay Carrington.
Dejanay, pardon me, Dejanay Carrington, and by the way, Nafisa in a whole separate interview, they've all hinted at women being, at the CBA being willing to sit out unless they get what they want. So this is kind of like this is the public bargaining sphere that is very common in sports, and we're going to hear a lot of it. So yeah, there's a lot at stake, and there's a lot, like you said, like there's with the even with Unrivaled, there's a lot of like the proof is in the pudding. We've been talking about this whole episode. We've been talking about it forever. This is really where the rubber's going to meet the road in a lot of ways because the money is there, the popularity is there, the women know it, and all that really stands in their way is just going to go ahead and say it: greedy and cheap ownership. Some greedy and
Some,
cheap,
yeah,
some,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
but and this happens in every major league, and a lot of leagues have had lockouts, right? So, I think there's so much at stake that I think a lockout is a very real possibility. I hope, as a Toronto Tempo fan, I really hope that we don't have a lockout in our inaugural year type thing. But yeah, I really it's the backdrop here is huge. And before I meander on, I'll let you jump in, Catherine.
I mean, the way I see it right now, and obviously this can change as things evolve, but the WNBA has such a long off season, and I believe they start negotiating this in the fall, right? Like
Yes.
after the finals. So they have 6 months to figure it out. It might delay the draft lottery. I'm not sure if it will or won't, but really, like, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to come to a deal in 6 months' time. Like, that would be such an egregious fail on the part of the league. Like, I can't even fathom how ridiculous it would be for it to take that long for them to come to a deal, right? And of course, the players will have a lockout if they don't get what they feel they deserve because they do deserve it. They are the stars. They are the reason women's basketball has become as popular as it has, and they do deserve more, and they've had unprecedented growth over the last 5 years, and it it really comes down to, and I don't even think it'll be like Kathy Engelbert standing in the way. Like, I think she is also pretty pro player for the most part. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's
I
really
agree.
gonna come down to a handful of owners, the owners of, to be specific, the Chicago Sky, the Connecticut Sun, teams that are still practicing out of community centers, to be
The
like,
Dallas
y
Wings,
Dallas Wings, another one. Yeah, like, you
Mystics.
need Mystics, you need to step up, because I think a lot of this is also going to be about um, competitive advantages slash disadvantages based on the team you play for and the amount they invest in the teams, and not having, equal facilities, not everybody even having their own locker, things like that. Like, it's going to be more than just the amount that they get paid. Like, it's going to be more than just a salary cap negotiation. So it wouldn't surprise me at all for the players to sit out, but it would surprise me if in 6 months time they didn't come to an agreement.
I think it is in everyone's best interest to come to an agreement. The I'm going off of, this is a bunch of articles related to this, but this is by Dan Bernstein. Really short read. Is at MSN, sort of kind of like an update article. Uh, I'm just going to quote this because there's two things that stuck out to me. One, I think, is like the most obvious thing, which just makes sense, and the other thing I really kind of perked my interest as far as like, okay, wait a second, this could get ugly and this could be interesting. So I'll just read the quote of this paragraph here. They're talking about transformational change in the agreement, in the potential agreement. Among the transformational change, requests players may make in CBA talks are a larger share of league revenue, which that's been out there forever. That's the one that's like, of course, yes, makes sense. And this is the one where I'm like, whoa, 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 wait. And the elimination of a hard salary cap. So the elimination of a hard salary cap would mean if you're a cheap ownership, you're done. So because that's going to mean that if you're the
Right.
Liberty, if
But
you're
I
the
don't think
Aces,
that's going to happen. Is there a North American league that doesn't have a hard salary cap?
the NBA,
The NBA has a salary cap.
they have a salary cap, but a hard salary cap is like the NHL, which is like, here's the number. Let's say it's like the number's 10 million. You cannot spend a dollar more than 10 million. So the playing field
Right,
really even.
but
Sorry.
the NBA has changed it so much
Yeah,
that if they pass it, it's called, I don't know why they call it aprons. First apron,
yes,
second apron, blah blah blah. There's so many penalties
that's right.
for going over that cap that it might as well be a hard cap.
But and this is a bit nerdy for people,
But
but
I
like,
understand what you're saying, that if you go past a cap, it should be like a luxury tax situation.
yeah, like in the NBA, you cannot win unless you operate well above the luxury. Like
That's not
like,
true anymore, Freddie.
but I mean, okay, teams are getting punished harder, but there's no team that is like a money saving team. Like there's no Chicago Bulls in the NBA that are competitive. Like all the very top tier teams have salary and structure built in such a way that they will outspend. There's a couple anomalies like OKC for now. But for the most part, if you're like a major player, if you intend on winning a championship, you're like the New York Knicks, you're like, whatever, the Bucks. You have to spend to win, essentially.
Mhm. Mhm.
And right now in the W, there's all weird stuff where it's like, okay, let's make like we're the Liberty, we're gonna have the best facilities, we're the Aces, we're gonna like do sneaky stuff. But at the end of the day, it's sort of like all the you run out of money, you run out of runway to kind of outspend other teams. If you get rid of the hard cap, you will have more runway to do that.
Right. So that I like. Like, I like getting rid of the hard cap, but I think a salary cap is just of some sort, just
Oh,
realistic,
there will be a salary cap.
but with a luxury tax scenario.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, like, even
I
if
don't
that,
even know where that luxury tax money goes. Who even gets that money?
the idea is
Frankly, they should give it to me.
yeah, they should, first of all, they
I
should
would
give it
do
to us.
good things with it.
They should give it to us, but the luxury tax money goes back to the teams that don't spend the money. Because
Really?
that's, yes, so that's the way for them to like, I know we're talking a lot about the NBA here, but like during the years that the Golden State Warriors had like this preposterously big salary, that money gets spread out and sent to the teams that aren't going over the luxury tax. So it's like that's kind of how they're punished.
But they win,
But they
so
win, and then they
then
make their money back,
and then
right? So
they more than make their money back.
that's right. So it just doesn't make sense to not win and not spend. And in a league where it's encouraged to spend, you're a dinosaur if you don't spend. So I
Well,
think,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, the thing with sports is that, like, as fans, we wanna believe that every team's goal is to win a championship, but
Mhm.
every team's goal is to be profitable.
Mhm. Certainly.
Right? I mean, you see it like with the New York Knicks or like in Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like hockey's such a
That's
big
right.
deal here. They haven't won a championship since the 60s, but they're still one of the highest grossing teams. So it's
That's
like as much as it's like, yeah. Anyway, I just say that to add that kind of context. But yeah, this whole
important
CBA thing's
context.
gonna be super interesting. We're gonna be talking about it probably a lot as time goes on and during the negotiations. Like it's definitely gonna keep our off season pretty busy.
Serious.
Wonder if we can go on vacation in December again.
Ooh,
Where
good
would you
point.
go? Where do you want to go?
We gotta go wherever they're bargaining. We're gonna be reporting there. We'll be outside the door, knocking on it. Engelbert,
Just
give us an
where
update.
are they? Bargain New York?
I don't know where they're bargaining, but we'll be there, folks.
Hopefully it's somewhere cool. Anyway, Freddie, it's time for your fun question.
Okay, Freddie's fun question. Here we go. I think this is for me was a particularly fun one to think about. Shanae Gumake is developing a comedy series. It's called The W. It's in the works at Peacock from Shanae Gumake and Glow creators Carly Mensch and Liz Flahive.
Oh my god, you just could say the creators of the show Glow.
I could,
You could
but
have,
instead
but
I butchered.
you got yourself in a trap.
I did. Yeah, you saw me just freeze on that last name, eh? My bad. But here we are. So my question to you is thinking about Shanae doing this and like, W personalities heading towards making comedy. Who is a W personality you would like to see make a comedy series, sorry. And what might that comedy series be about?
Well, when I first saw this, my first instinct was I gotta figure out how to write on this show.
Yes.
Like first and foremost, I'm like, hello, I'm here, I exist, I need to be a part of this. And congrats to Chennai, that's super awesome.
It's very cool.
Uh, I mean, my first thought, like just coming to mind right now, is Courtney Williams.
Mhm.
Courtney Williams is a character. I think she would be great playing like an exaggerated version of herself on a show like what Chennai is producing. But if she was gonna do one herself and it was like, maybe loosely based on I don't know if it's gonna be loosely based on her life or not. I don't really know like her full backstory like that. But it'd be really cool to do like a W version of the show Atlanta.
That would be incredible.
Right? Like, that would be so cool, and I could see Courtney Williams being a part of that.
That's right. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know who our, like, stoner girl is, but, like so I don't wanna put anyone on the spot for that
again,
role.
who's Cameron Brink?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it for her. Maybe. Maybe. But no, anyway, I just
Who's
feel
Stoner
like
Girl? Yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't know. We gotta figure that out. Maybe it's someone in Seattle. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
that's such a terrible joke. I like hate myself for saying it, and I hated myself as I said it, but
yeah.
it's fine.
Happens to the best.
Um, anyway, yeah, that's my answer.
That's good. It's a good answer.
Thank
I
you.
am really, really happy with my answer on this one.
Oh, someone's happy.
Yes, I'm very happy. So this is a W fact that has always stuck out to me, and I just think it's so fun and interesting. Really, Sylvia Fowles retired, and she said she wanted to be a mortician
Right.
in her in her W afterlife. So
Wow, you
yeah,
phrased it like that.
I did. So she's currently
And
majoring
your
in.
face transformed as you said it.
Did I turn into a ghost?
Yeah, you should watch this back and see, like, what your face did as you were saying
Oh my god, I gotta check that out. It's like, whoa, his face was like a ghost. Uh, um, see, I lost myself in that joke, so it happens, Kathy.
it.
But yeah, so she's currently majoring in mortuary science at the American Academy, and so I'm thinking like a 6 feet under sort of setting,
Oh,
but like way more comedy.
I was
And
thinking reality show.
well, here's the deal. I want to do a little bit of like, we're not that far off. You talk about Atlanta. I'm talking about like Master of None vibes, kind of where
Oh,
she's Sylvia
wow.
Fowles in this, but she's like a version of a Sylvia Fowles, and she is uh a mortician who's like also Sylvia Fowles. So she's also like, you know, like a W legend, a W defensive legend who's big and imposing and gentle, and I think that there's a lot of stuff that could be mined from that. So
Wow.
that's my answer.
We just came up
Um,
with some really good shows, I think.
yeah, I think so too.
I think I would wanna be a part of both of those.
My title,
Oh, I didn't
so,
go with title.
something foul, huh? You down,
Yes.
Engelbert? Ow. Listen, I'm really close to a wall, and I've never realized it as much as I did in that moment.
What did you even do?
I went to go, Engelbert, call me, and I hit
Oh,
my
and then you hit your elbow.
hit my elbow. So, folks, podcasting
I
doesn't get
just
better.
heard you say
Podcasting does not get better than this. I please watch this on YouTube so you can see me hurt my elbow in real time. These walls, they're not concrete. I'm fine, but
Oh my
it was a
god.
nice knock. It was a nice knock. It's like a
Stop.
very thin part, the like very pointy
Yeah,
part of your
why are
elbow.
you oh my god, you didn't bruise yourself or something, did you?
I'm
No.
absolutely fine. No, I'm good, but did hurt. Still hurts a bit. And I that's honestly that's one of my finer podcast moments ever.
Just being like
On my
just
other
being
pod,
like, "Kathy Engelbert, ow."
Kathy Engelbert, ow. That's right up there with one of my best podcasting moments. Another one I'll put up there on my NBA pod. I absolutely panicked when a big bug came on the lens. And I have no chill when it comes to bugs. And like all the other guests, there was 3 other guests, and they were like, "It's okay, dude." And I was like, I couldn't bring myself to be like chill about it. I just lost it.
You don't kill the bugs in your home?
Absolutely not.
Caitlin does.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's like top 3 reason to even have a boyfriend. I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. I
Maybe
pulled
not
my
on the podcast, maybe somewhere else, but I feel like I'm like, why would I even have a man in my life if he's
No,
not
fair
killing
enough. Fair
bugs?
enough. I'm lucky. But I pull my weight in other ways. Okay. Bugs, not gonna
I'm
happen.
sure you do. I'm sure you do.
As soon as my son's old enough, I'm gonna be like, kill that bee, boy.
You're gonna turn your son into a murderer.
Yep.
That was absolutely I'm sorry I laughed so hard. It was so like I just didn't see it coming.
This is why we do it. Engelbert, call us.
Just
Ow.
Engelbert. Ow.
Engelbert. Ouch.
This is the one episode she sees.
If she listens to this episode, We
And
just
then if
gotta
she listens to the whole thing and then sees that, oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, and go, "Bert, listen to the end. We got a surprise for you. Your name followed by Al.
Something's foul.
Something foul."
Something foul. Um, buddy. I mean, you could just pitch that as a reality show today. I don't know if she would be interested in reality TV. I get the feeling maybe she wouldn't be because when you do that with your life, I don't think you're trying to be like in the spotlight in any way.
Certainly not. She would never do it.
She's so beloved though. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right, we should wrap it up there.
yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening, for tuning in. Appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you got a good laugh at the end there too. Please like, subscribe, leave us a positive review. That always helps. Check out our survey. If you've already done the survey, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Like it's really incredible how we've been able to grow the show and continue to grow it. Shout out to the Sonar Network. Shout out to Jamie for helping us with our social media. You know, it's very rewarding to be a part of. So genuinely, thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
and catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.